Hi everyone, this is Darius Brock. I am the worship leader at Lighthouse Christian Church in Powell, Tennessee. You can find us at powelllighthouse.org, and I would particularly encourage you to take a look at that website just to see our building, because that's going to be germane for this discussion. I want to talk about 3 in-ear monitoring solutions that I have tried and what I've chosen and why. We're rebuilding our stage, moving it around to a different area of the auditorium, and it's time for us to go to in-ear monitors. I've got a number of these that I need to buy for my singers and performers of other types. So I started looking around to see what I could get that would be affordable, and of course the YouTube videos are very helpful. I had one system already for one of my guys. You probably are familiar with it, because whenever you start looking and you call anybody, they will say, oh, the thing that you need to get by all means is the good old reliable Shure PSM 300. Why? Because this is an $800 unit. It's the lowest end thing that anybody will recommend to you that's going to work. They will tell you that over and over and over again, and it is a good product. I set this up in the church office, which is in one corner of the building. I walked to every other corner of the building and never lost signal. So I can highly recommend this as a quality unit. We've used this particular one, I don't know, probably, I'm guessing 6 years. Could be more, could be less. It's metal construction, and that's kind of germane for the things we're talking about here. So it's solid. It's a good solid feel to it. The body pack that goes with it is plastic, and that's important too, because all of these other units except for one are also plastic for this discussion. So it's got a nice antenna on it here. It's got the antenna there and the on-off switch right there. You open it up to change the batteries. It does hold the rechargeables with no problem. And it's a good unit. You know, you got adults handling these things. They don't get dropped and broken very often. We've never had a problem with that. So this unit has been very durable. But I didn't want to pay $800 a piece for as many of these things as I have to buy. So what did I do? I decided I would try some other things. I went to a new company that I discovered online called VocoPro. Now, VocoPro is actually a karaoke company, and they make a really nice product here. We were just looking at the body pack, so let's start with the body pack on this one. This thing is solid metal, okay? Really great. It's got a really nice sturdy antenna. You can see the cool color on the top right there. You plug in the headset, and they send you a headset with it. I'll show you what comes in the box too. On the bottom, it actually has a charging port that takes the mini charger that you use on your Android phones, not the C, but the one prior to that. And there's also an infrared port on the bottom when you need to sync the thing up with the transmitter. You can do it there. So that's pretty cool. Let me show you the transmitter unit without the antenna. The antennas are in the box, and I'll get those out for you. But here's the transmitter unit right there. Looks nice, functions well. It has 9 channels, and that's your limitation on it here, which was ultimately the reason I decided not to go further with this unit for my purposes. Not because it doesn't function, but because I just didn't want that limitation in case I need to add even more to it. So I'm not going to go through that any further in terms of discussing how it works, but I'll tell you the story behind it. I did use this last Sunday in church. I bought it. I tested it out at my friend Mark Clifton's house because he's also a musician, and I thought I'd get somebody else's opinion. We plugged it up, walked down the street, had good signal connection. You know, everything looked great. I tested it in my home. Everything looks great. I tested it outside the church building, and everything was great. Using it inside the church building, I had a little bit of crackle, and I attribute that probably to the fact that the building is a steel construction building. I called VocoPro and asked them if they could explain that to me. They were not able to. They did ask me to check the the voltage on the power supply, which I haven't done, just to make sure that it was at the right voltage or was it defective. So I really still need to do that in order to finish up that process for them. But that's not the reason I'm not going to buy additional units. It's the 9-channel limitation. I could have lived with the crackling that occurred. It wasn't terrible in my estimation, but some of my people probably would have driven them crazy. So let me just show you a little bit more about the VocoPro. This is the box it comes in, and some of the stuff in the box that I haven't already shown you include the antennas right there. They just snap and turn. It's really easy to put them on. It includes a charging block and your charging cable. It includes a decent little headset here. Let me see if I can get that where you can actually see it. Right there, decent little headset. Single driver, like all of these things are that you get. So you're never going to be as happy as you want to be. And it comes with some 1/4-inch cables as well, 2 1/4-inch cables, mono. All right, so I really like the feel of it. This company, they keep producing these products. They're gonna go a long ways. But they did indicate to me that sometimes they do have an unexplained situation like this, and the guy I talked to, he didn't know if maybe this was it. So the steel building was maybe the issue. So let me get on to the one that I decided on. I had almost purchased this. There were more reviews on it. They were more positive. And, the bottom line for me is, does it work in my situation? So what you see there is the Phenyx PTM 10. Okay. This is one that, I had seen a very favorable comparison of this on YouTube by a worship minister named Kenneth Russell, and Kenneth did a lot to influence me on this, as well as some of the comments. You get a nice plastic carrying case with it. If you're a portable person, that's great. If you're a church, you don't really need it. Inside the box, in addition to the regular stuff you get a mounting rack, and you get some extra parts to attach things with. That may be important to some of you more so than others, but anyway, it's a nice addition, because you never know what you're going to have to use to plug it up with. So let me show you the unit itself. Oh, here's the earbuds. Let me show you those first. The earbuds to me seem a little bit cheaper. I don't know if they, I'll just have to see how they last over time, but that's the earbuds right there. And you know how these things stay in your ears. They don't very well. I discussed the metal body construction of the other units. This also is a metal body construction, and I'm very happy with it. It's got some controls on the front here. Here's the set button that you can use to change things. It's got a limiter and an EQ built onto it. I don't need those particularly for my setup, because we have a PreSonus Series 3 soundboard, and it has a compressor, an EQ, and a limiter all built onto each channel. So that's an added feature that you would pay a lot more for. I mean, the VocoPro didn't have that. So yeah, this is great if you need it, and it's a good thing to have handy in case you need it for some other reason. Maybe there's more spike coming through the system than you expect. Here you got different channels and different groups that you can set it up on, and that's kind of important as you go through the process of deciding what you need and how many channels. And I've seen that it variously reported. The Amazon page says that you can have up to 89 different units functioning at the same time, which that's not insignificant. There's how you change the channels, and you can change from stereo to mono, and it's got a couple of other features down there that you can use as well. So It's durable. It's not as big as the other units, but doesn't need to be. So anyway, that part of it works well. Again, I plugged it up in the church office, and I walked to every corner of the building, and I did not lose signal. So really, really important to me. It only really has to work within about 40 feet of wherever it's set up. So that's all I need out of it. So I'll take something better. And again, Kenneth Russell compared it to a good mid-range Shure, not the low end, but the mid-range Shure product, and I think he's probably right about that. Let me show you the body pack. This is the body pack. Power button on the top right there. You press it, turn it on. I think the antenna's kind of wimpy. I don't really like that. But, you know, it is what it is. It works, and that's what matters. Does it work? Okay, a couple of buttons on the front for setting some features. As you saw, the LEDs come on. It checks the channel and checks the frequency, and then it goes off to conserve power. You open it up like this, and there you have your batteries. And they do hold rechargeable batteries well. As Kenneth points out in his video, they are a little bit larger than the regular AA's, and this battery pack holds them just fine, so that's good to know. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say about this. These units are all good. They're worthwhile. Let's talk about the price. As I mentioned, the Shure product is $799. Okay, if you've got that kind of money laying around, fine. The other two products are each $209, and I bought both of them through Amazon, got them delivered by Amazon Prime, got them within 2 days. Service was great there. I loved the construction of the VocoPro, but for my purposes, I just decided it wasn't the best option. And when I found out that the Phenyx worked as well as it was billed, and some of the reviews that I had seen, I was like, this is the product that I'm going to use. So we'll be purchasing a number of those for the church. And I hope this video helps you out if you're looking at doing the same kind of thing. God bless you. We'll see you at church.